Ubu. Right. Let's get a day out of the way, shall we? Date 2 with Antoine Hardman. Good morning, interruption, boss. We have a visitor. Well, we had a visitor. Anthony held me outside the front door with a white-knuckled grip to unlock. He looked like he'd been there for hours. I came upon him, he was so startled that he nearly collapsed. He's an adorable twink. Like you'd only half collapse someone. The guy gets flustered just thinking of me. Flustered, yes, and pale, trembling, slightly sweaty, possibly ill. It took 3 cups of tea and the fainting bench and an hour with an emotional support hedgehog, but he finally told me the reason for his visit. Master Hardmeat has invited you for a horse ride in the park this afternoon. I recommend that you agree to go, boss. It's the polite thing to do, and I'm not sure if he'd survive rejection. Of course, I don't have another death on my hands. I must admit, I'd quite enjoy making him blush. I'm sure he'll be positively feverish, sir. Regardless, I'm glad you're amiable, especially since I already assured him you'd go. He was hyperventilating so much I thought he might pop. We also expended the emotional support hedgehog, so I volunteered to take his place. How can you expend the poor thing? Battle escorts you to the designated park. St. Ambrose Park is so overflowing with flowers that it can be smelled from the blocks away, despite the harsh fumes of industry and their merry snowfall of soot. It's quite literally a buzz that your battle butler swats away several bees at your arrival. The entrance, Antoine sits upon a fine white steed, his normally nervous hands oddly still in the reins. Oh, it's you when you're here. I'm not surprised at all. No, not even a little. You're expecting another swoon-worthy impressionado industry? No, I wasn't expecting anyone. Anyway, small talk. That's plenty. Shall we set off? See, sure, let me whistle for a horse. You whistle sharply, and from just out of view, a fine steed appears. Because I'm Link from Zelda, you see. Impressive. Indeed, I've trained him well. You mount your horse and set out. As you ride through the park, you can see the anxiety slowly melt from under Antoine's shoulders. He lets out a heavy sigh. I'm the most comfortable as I ever get when I'm riding. I thought it might be nice to just talk, away from that legal business back in the office. I didn't even want to get into law. Sure, I won my business in a race, but I was just there to race horses. I found much to say about the whole situation. Now I'm expected to tell all these lawyer types how to run the business. It's a lot of pressure. See, surely barreling breakneck through the walls of justice is just as exciting as racing. If only you could race other lawyers for winning verdicts. Well, combine your interests. You could have the first equine law firm. Not sure 1 stomp for yes, 2 for no will go over well in front of a judge. 3 stomps of objection. Joanna is momentarily distracted by the possibility of horse lawyers. Well, I'm stuck with it now anyway. And I suppose I did lead to meeting you, so it isn't all bad. It's nice to have someone to talk with other than Mrs. was a sturdy steed between his thighs. My best friend, Custard. Really, my only friend. Just as anyone makes an embarrassing confession, your battle butler, jogging closely behind, lets out a yelp. Ah! Truly nefarious bumblebee, exacting its revenge for the earlier swatting, flies away from his rump. Batman wins the sting and allows his enemy to strike a blow upon him, and also the sting to his ass. Steadfast in his duty to protect you, he instinctively chops at the foe and sends it soaring directly into the open eye of a nearby mare. She rears back in panic, her poor rider tossed aside like a bag of potatoes. Apologies, sir. It appears my murderous reflexes have once again caused a chaotic chain reaction. The fine man is going to travel over the garden and set herself, or possibly hurt innocent bystanders. This is bystanders. Oh, if only there were skilled horsemen here to help. I'll take care of that horse. Windrostle's golden hair, the sun gleams from his impressive and slightly sweaty collar. Custer lifts a hoof and tosses his mane. They resemble the cover of so many torrid romance novels. Do what you can, that mare is mine. I'll save the innocent bystanders. My sister calls Custer to catch up with them again, horse. You pivot your own stallion towards the onlookers. They let out a cheer at this unexpected show. Boss, you got to get those bystanders out of the way. You haven't paid for this performance, Gav. I will charge you. With bees comes honey, and with honey comes bears. You know, a better view from high ground. That might work. Onlookers make towards the hills, away from the flowers, already removing their binoculars along the way. Turn to see Antoine majestically leap from Custer's back to the rampaging horse. She rears, but he remains perfectly balanced, lean thighs held firm against their sides. With a tender touch and an unheard whisper, he slows her to a nervous trot and then a steady walk. His expression is gentle. Only a few particularly perfumed flowers fall in the hubbub, and when he returns atop the runaway mare, he smells sweetly of roses. But did you see how dashing I was? No. Charming and heroic all at once. Yes, well, it was just much more stimulating than I imagined it would be, in so many ways. You see several onlookers returning a handful of handsome young men and women in fashionably regal attire. Some of them have favours in hand, letters of courtship, engagement rings, fancy parties, that they're waving towards and oh dear, oh no. Somehow they always know where I'm going to be, every party, every event, everything. They seem quite taken with you. That's exactly the problem. I can't stand the courtship conversations. Perhaps we should just call it a day before they get over there. This was quite a lot of excitement for one afternoon. I enjoyed it, and yes, and I would like to do it again sometime. The talking, maybe, not the bees and the rampaging. Antoine waves farewell. He seems to unintentionally strike a majestic pose back atop his faithful Custard. Baseball! What the hell? Okay. Interesting. Waha! Yes.